Hey, it's your girl KB back with another review for Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16, episode 17. Game over. It's the finale, y'all. We made it. This season felt like it was long and short at the same time. I didn't hate this season. Like I said a couple of reviews ago, it's better than the Marlo seasons. As insufferable as Brie Edie was, I still prefer this over the Marlo seasons. So there's that. What else, y'all? So yeah, let's just hop right on in. I watched the after show. Nothing much really was talked about on there for real. And I'm in the midst of watching Watch What Happens Live now. I'm like, let me get this started for my baby get home. I just wanted to make sure I saw Dustin. On behind the Watch What Happens Live bar. I said, I know that's right. If y'all don't know who Dustin is, he is on a podcast called The Friend Zone. They've been out for years. He also does comedy. He also Carlos King. He does a lot of correspondence on Carlos King's channel. He does the Love and Marriage Detroit reviews and interviews. And currently he does a review with Carlos King and Claudia Jordan on Carlos King's channel. So that's what a lot of people are learning of him now. I've been listening to the podcast for so long, The Friend Zone. I've known who he was for years through the podcast, not in real life. But one, I was just watching Insecure. He had a little small cameo on Insecure, so I remember that. And two, he's friends with Cynthia. So just about anytime Cynthia is at Watch What Happened Live, she got Dustin in the audience as her friend. They always pans to him. And so say maybe like a year ago, he was on there with Cynthia. Maybe not even a year ago, probably was the top of the season, really. But he was on there. He posted a picture when he was on there. I was like, tell Andy next time, put you behind the bar. So to see that next time he's actually behind the bar, it's like so cool, y'all. So shout out to Dustin Ross of The Friend Zone and Holding Court. He does the Holding Court podcast with Ebony Williams. Ebony Williams from Real Housewives, the black one on the Real Housewives. What was it, New York? I don't know. I'll be watching them other ones. But on to the review, y'all. Hold up. Let's do a little do not disturb. Like I said, it's the finale. It's the finale, y'all. First, on a serious note, we see Portia and her sister Lauren. They go over to Phaedra's house and they're talking to her about Lundy's funeral. You know, Lundy passed away suddenly. Phaedra is in the funeral business, so it would just make sure that Frick go get Frack to do her cousin's funeral. So she, telling her about it, and apparently Lauren, Portia's sister, was on the phone with Lundy when she passed and took her last breath, y'all. I was like, that has to be devastating. I really hope that Lauren is in some type of therapy, some type of something, talking to somebody, because that's heavy. That's a lot. Prayers to Portia and her family. So Phaedra is, I'm sure they talk most of the business off camera because that stuff ain't fun to watch. But she was like, okay, well, here, gonna test the food. Here go the food. And then she got the little table set out. This how you want the table set to be. They're looking at the plate chargers and they have butterflies on them. Lauren says yes, and she passed. That's all I've been saying. I've been saying so many butterflies. And she was like, okay, well, if butterflies are significant to you, how about y'all do a butterfly release? Portia says, oh, so when you let the butterflies go, do they come back? Phaedra said, no, there are no trained butterflies. Portia, do the butterflies come back? We see Angela in therapy with Woodstock Wendy. Y'all can't tell me that her therapist Wendy wasn't like front row, cut off denim shorts, bandana tied around her head, Woodstock girl back in the day. So Woodstock Wendy, she's telling her that Charles is tired of her paying for all them houses. I can't remember if it was right here or if it was later on or Watch What Happened. I'm not watching a little after show, but somewhere along the lines, we find out that of the five houses, we actually said two different things. Well, I guess, anyway, 5 houses, 2 of them have sold and 3 of them have foreclosed. Something like that. But somewhere else she says like they still got one. I don't know. It's confusing, but they ain't making no money. They probably done put millions into this. Charles is fed up because why would you buy 5 houses? This not even what you do. Like flipping houses like that. You might sell houses or something, but flipping 5 houses at a time, like, eat the rich. Eat the rich, because, all right. So she also tells Woodstock Wendy about the guy Marcus from the event and how he is trying to target their marriage and people just be out here living foul and trying to put it on them. It's just, she's tired of it. Okay, she's tired of it. We see Shamia's music showcase, y'all. It was giving budget. It was giving budget. It was cute. It was cute. It was intense. She had a lot of costume changes. I'm like, did you really change costumes for each song? Okay. All right. Everybody want to be Beyonce now, but okay. If you wanted to change songs for each outfit and you got the money and the means to do so and you got the audience out there cheering you on, baby, go ahead. Go ahead and rock out that little auditorium. Get it. And the like, it might sound like I'm being sarcastic, but no, legit, like, get it, Shamia. Drew was criticizing. Drew had points. And as much as Shamia was on Drew's neck about her singing and her performances all season, let Drew get her ones off. Let her get her ones off, because this just about return serve, child. But the most beautiful thing about Shamia's performance in her showcase is that she had the means to do it. Like, I don't need no label. I'm not trying to get such and such to do it or such and such to sponsor me. Babe, can I do a showcase? All right, we finna do a showcase. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. We love to see it. Okay, so like I said, she changed outfits for each song, y'all. But it was cute. Drew was like, she need a little bit more rehearsals. She not hitting all them notes. And like I said, hey, she just giving her back what she gave her. Y'all, I halfway watched this episode, and I'm realizing that as I'm reading my notes back, because I don't even remember how they got here. But somehow, was this even the same event? Somehow they got on Instagram followers. I think somebody was like, oh, let me post your showcase or something like that after the showcase. And Kelly was like, she was like, how many you got? How many followers you got? I got 150,000 followers, girl. But so is that before or after your account grew by 80,000 followers in one day? You paid for your followers. You paid for those followers, right? And it's just like, oh, what? So you stalking my page? Britt? While we were friends, okay? And I just wanted to check on your progress, because we are all out here just trying to get this influencer baddie bag, and I was trying to make sure that you knew what you were doing, right? It was just like, how do we get here? How do we get here, and why are we still here, right? And she brings up the fact that you said stuff about Portia. You said that you wouldn't have had her in your house and this, that, and the third. And apparently Cynthia went and carried that bone to Britt, that Shamia showed Portia the text messages allegedly, but Cynthia went and carried that bone. That had me cracking up. And so Shamia and Britt are just going at it, y'all, and I'm just sitting here like, what are we arguing? What is happening? Not really what's happening, y'all. And so they're arguing, and like I said, the fact that Britt not even gonna be at the reunion, not gonna be on next season, I just didn't find it important enough to rewind it back to see what was really going on. But for the most part, this is where Britt brings up Shamia's daughter. She wasn't necessarily talking about Shamia's daughter per se, but she brought her up. So she asked her, did you see your daughter when you were in Miami popping shots with Kelly? You were popping shots with Kelly. Did you go see your daughter? Was she even sick? So that's what Britt does. Like, you was just a girl. We love you. We your village. I'm your girl. You can depend on me. Now let's get naked and take shots. I'm your girl. What happened to that just a couple of weeks ago? Britt is so fake. Britt is so fake, and she was looking for her mama. Like I said, y'all, Phaedra told her to present herself more kind, and Britt said, "Oh, be more fake." And when they got in there, Britt looked at Phaedra. This is my moment. This is my moment. And Phaedra was like, we your girls. I love you. We is your village while you away from it. We love you, girl. We are sisters. I'm your girl. You my girl. We your girls. And don't you know that we love you? I was like, Britt. Now is your daughter even sick? So speaking of Britt, let's just get her out of the way. Her and her husband go looking at private jets. I had to come around the ring like glad for that one. Her and her husband are going to check out private jets. You couldn't pay for your guests to eat at a party. Couldn't have been no more than 100 people in that room. You couldn't pay that country club the fee to feed everybody. And you're being sued for it now. But you going to look at private jets. Britt is just too fake for words sometimes. It's hilarious. Like I said, I be watching Carlos King, so he said when he was a producer on the show, he straight up told the girls, no, I'm not taking the cameras to go film you test driving cars. If it's not going to be a transaction, if you're not signing over and driving it off the lot, we're not going to film that. I said, period. Everybody needs to have the same standards as far as, like, why y'all letting these girls come flex on the camera knowing that they ain't really about it, right? Getting Britt out the way, she has another scene where she has her family and her husband family over, and they're like, okay guys, so we're gonna do a ceremony. We're gonna have a wedding ceremony because, you know, we got married during COVID and we didn't have a ceremony. We just got married online and we're gonna have a ceremony. Okay, so Kelly finally talks about the restaurant some more. I can't remember who exactly she was talking to. My hand itching. That means some money coming, right? I can't remember who exactly she was talking to, but she was letting them know that she is very, very behind on the restaurant and getting it up and going because of, I think she basically said, the divorce. So the funds are tied up. So say like the joint account might get frozen while you're going through a divorce or something like that with him. He try to get the accounts frozen. Give her just enough to live off of type deal. And I'm like, your other restaurant can't help pay for this restaurant? Like, the fact that it's just Kelly. Kelly. It's just odd for the funds for your restaurant to be tied up, but the funds for them 17 bags for your daughter, that wasn't tied up. Them funds for the doggy party, that wasn't tied up. And granted, these are like one-time fees versus like a restaurant, you paying for this, paying for that, paying for this. But it's been a year. Like the restaurant's still not open, right? Right? So it's interesting that she let it get so, it's interesting. We'll just leave it there. It's interesting. Drew and Ralph, y'all. When see Ralph, hey, what's going on? Can I come upstairs? Yeah, of course, you know. And then basically, like, you know, Drew's just like, I would never keep him from his kids. This is just what the court arrangement is. It just is what it is. Like, I don't banish him down to the basement. That's where he want to be. That's where he want to be. He can move out. He can be anywhere else. But he want to be in the basement. I'm not torturing him. He's torturing us. Okay. So he comes upstairs and he sits and talks to her. He's like, how can we let it get like this? Exactly. How did y'all let it get like this? Because this is just stupid. My baby home. This is just stupid. So they talk it out a little bit, and I guess seeing this scene, it makes sense why he was upstairs cooking on Memorial Day, and they had that video with them out there in the kitchen, with them in the kitchen when they cooking, and he feeding her some food. So I said, oh, okay, we see at least how y'all got there, because if we went straight from Ralph in the basement and they arguing and he locking her out to he feeding you, he upstairs cooking, we got questions. We got questions. So lastly, y'all, and I didn't even put the thing on in the background. So lastly, we have Angela's event. I think it's the Oakley Foundation. They are having a gala. And they are feeding the homeless. I believe they're feeding the homeless, right? So they're feeding the homeless. Oh, that's perfect. All of the they do it for charity, feeding people. That one. And so within the ceremony, they honor Portia and her late cousin Lundy because of their work with Hosea Feed the Hungry. It was a very controversial move in the Real Housewives hemisphere, because a lot of people are like, girl, she said that she would your husband and you gonna honor her at this gala. But one, professionally, I can see why Angela would do that, because yes, we would want Hosea Feed the Hungry eyes on our foundation. Like the big numbers that's coming in. Well, they probably already got big numbers anyway, but still cross pollinating and all that, making sure everybody's doing something. You feel me? And also, yeah, stay on Portia's good side. You know who she is, and keep her right there. Keep her right there. Shamia looked a mess. What was Shamia wearing? Shamia had on a costume. Shamia always look like she is playing dress up. Like, what does she have on? They've been saying she looked like a video game character. It's definitely giving. What's up, Melina? Shoot, the Street Fighter. Which one of them had like the corset? Which one of them? One of them had the bands. One of them had like the corset. What was she wearing, y'all? Shamia, y'all. Only Shamia. Only Shamia. So while they're in the program and everything, after they honor Portia and Hosea Feed the Hungry in London, they get to stay in some type of Negro spiritual. I can't remember which one it was. It was a common one, of course. And Portia gets emotional. And she just lost a cousin, y'all. Portia gets emotional, so she kind of steps away to collect herself. And of course, all the ladies running behind her. Oh my God, Portia, let me wipe your tears. Let me wipe your tears, Portia. Let me fix your lip gloss, Portia. So everybody gets over there. Britt is dabbing her face, dabbing her face. I'm like, Jesus, don't wipe her makeup off. I said, ain't Candace teach y'all all these years y'all making fun of her crying or her makeup be intact. Them tears don't touch that cheek. You feel me? So there's that. So next they get the ladies sit down and mingling and mixing after the event is over. And Angela, this was a weird one for me, you guys. She likes for her husband to yell at her, huh? That's all I could think of. You like for your husband to be yelling at you. You like to provoke him because he's a little grumpy old man type deal. So she invited Marcus. They sitting there talking about, you know, Marcus and how he popped up at Kelly's event. And she's trying to get to the bottom of who it was. She think it's Britt. Britt was like, why would I do that? You know, I wouldn't do it. In her confessional, she's like, it's probably Kelly because it was her event, right? It was Kelly. And after the show, Kelly's like, it was probably Britt because she was mad about the stretch marks comment, right? She was probably still salty about the stretch marks comments, right? So, yeah, right? So, Drew goes and gets Marcus, brings him over to the ladies. Charles goes off. Get him the boot up out of here. What is this? What is y'all doing? Get him up out of here, right? Charles is pissed. And Angela starts screaming, trust me. No, he's gonna stay. No, Charles, he's gonna stay. Trust me. In confessional, she says she's trying to clear Charles's name, right? So we see a flash sideways somewhere in here. That's what, I be watching Carlos King, so he be doing a little producer knowledge and shit. So when it's a scene that happened within the season, but we didn't see it play out, it's a flash sideways because it's not quite, you know, flash back to something you've seen. It's a flash sideways. I said, oh, okay. At some point, we see a flash sideways of Angela and Marcus. Who was it? Was it Drew again? One of the girls is with them, and they sitting there talking to him, and he's letting it be known. But somebody tipped Angela off. I think somebody might have tipped Angela off that scene ain't gonna make it. That scene gonna be on the cutting room floor, baby. So she said, okay, heard. And she said, I'm gonna do this at my event because I know y'all gonna film my event. So she did it at her event so that it's more likely to be aired. I feel like that's what I feel like. That's what y'all think. That's what I think. That's what I think. So Charles is pissed. You lucky, because Charles about to fold Marcus Ferris up. Charles ain't playing, right? He's just not playing. Charles basically like, you lucky that his camera's everywhere. And I'm grown and old enough to not incriminate myself too badly, sir. But you lucky, okay? So Marcus sits with the ladies, and they all talking about, okay, well, where you hear this from? Because at first he was saying that a man paid him to do it. So I'm not gonna lie, when he said a man, I said it was probably one of Phaedra's little dude boys. Y'all know Phaedra keep a young butler around that house. Y'all know Phaedra keep a young butler around that house. So that was the first thing I knew. He said it was a man. I said, oh, Phaedra, her little boys. Bet. Because Britt don't need to be paying nobody to do nothing if you can't even pay for your guests to eat at your event. So it bet not have been Britt paying for such buffoonery. But seeing how ridiculous he is, he probably didn't need to get paid much. Production probably paid him anyway. Because he was mic'd. He was mic'd. So, yeah. So he's sitting there talking about, that's when he says, because I already thought it was Phaedra. But then he lets them know Phaedra is the one who paid him to say it. So Phaedra's sitting there like, what? Oh, good God. Oh, Lord. Yeah, she's like the godfather around town. Yeah, she's like the godfather. The godfather. All the antics, y'all. All the antics. Sitting there looking crazy. She's stumbling. She's just kind of gagged. Everybody is, because he's just sounding stupid. He's sounding foolish. Then he says he has a source. Y'all want to know who the source is? It was Junebug. It was Junebug. Y'all, I screamed. Portia Funny, she and her professional talking about it was a scheme that Ty set up to come to us with the bull. If Portia don't do nothing, she gonna do these two things. She gonna make us laugh, and she gonna bring some looks, baby, because she look good here, and her reunion dress look good too. She don't do nothing else. She gonna do them two things. But speaking of, it was a scheme that Ty set up. Prayers for Aunt Bertha, y'all. Candy said on something that she be doing online that Aunt Bertha is going through either Alzheimer's or dementia, one of those. So prayers for Aunt Bertha and the entire old lady gang, you know. So they're sitting there talking about, oh, Phaedra, why would you do this? Why would you do that? And they just kind of asking her, why you got beef with Angela? That's what I'm trying to find. Why people saying I got beef with Angela? I don't know the girl. I only been here 2 weeks. And it's like, Phaedra, you came on the scene coming for Angela's neck. Like, she legit came on the scene coming for her neck. She just do it in her old churchy, messy, you know, nice, nasty way that people don't take it as like, oh my gosh, she's being a mean girl. But, well, some people don't. But she's absolutely being a mean girl. She's been on Angela. Oh, that's the youngest looking old lady I ever seen. And every time y'all together, you got words about Angela. Meanwhile, she's being nothing but kind to you. Nothing but kind. So my theory is Phaedra is mad that Charles put a ring on Angela and not her, because it sounds like Charles may have been like this, because 10 years ago it was this and I hung out there. We was, oh yeah, Charles is this. We know how Phaedra get down. We know how Phaedra get down. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was a little sneaky link at some point, a little late night creep. They already said he dealt with Sheree at some point. They already said he dealt with Sheree at some point when Angela and Charles was on Watch What Happens Live the first time. He was like, no comment. No comment. So yeah, Phaedra just be doing the most. I said, you mad because he wifed her up and not you. That's what it's giving. You had to go and marry some felon and be divorced and humiliated and almost outed for your criminal activity. Well, you could have been married to Charles Oakley, but he was out here planning. He gonna pick this girl. This girl? Phaedra hating. Phaedra hating. And she just out of nowhere, it's like, well, that's why your house in foreclosure. And it's like, huh? What they got to do with anything? What does the house being in foreclosure got to do with anything? That's exactly how you know that you did research on her and you've been ready to spray her with some tea. You've been ready to try to air her out. But Angela is the girl, she gon', like Portia said, she got some rest. She gonna tell out her own business anyway. So you ain't even got to do that for her, okay? So they sitting there going back and forth, and then at some point, Shamia and Britt get to talking. Well, Shamia is telling the girls, I think, about her conversation with Britt after her showcase, right? And Shamia said something like, I should have beat your ass. And Britt is like, it's not a threat. It's not a threat. She said, no, that's what you do. You threaten people, you whore. Is that what she said? You whore. You the one to be threatening people with guns and whips and chains and tasers and butt plugs. You the one to be out here arming and torturing people. You feel me? So I was just like, what is happening? Why are we still here? Why is this happening at that gala? Happy finale, you guys. Happy finale. So next we have everybody's little end cap. We see Brittany get my mic off. Get my mic off. You feel me? Britt is using her clean slate to open a new insurance agency. She is also working hard to release Bare and Naked so that the masses can be snatched, just like her. Okay, but we all current day know that Britt quit the show, did not come to the reunion, and has filed paperwork to potentially sue Bravo, right? So there's that. There's that. Next in card we got is Drew. Her album was released in March. I like it. It's good music, y'all. While her music career is on the high, her relationship with Ralph is still on the low as he continues to reside in the basement apartment, okay? And ain't no divorce in sight. Ain't no divorce in sight. So Shamia, while Baby Shiloh continues to make progress, Shamia has a new surrogate and hopes to welcome a baby boy soon. Her single Never Had was released also in March. She hopes that listeners don't talk over it this time. Okay, listen to this track, bitch. Okay, let's see what Angela. Boy, she be looking good. That dress was nice, and it didn't go up too high to where it blocked her face. For Pedra is booked and busy and adding more jobs to her resume until her boys retire her. Meanwhile, her chocolate prince Che Che is still satisfying her sweet tooth. Okay, keep her boy toy around. Keep her a do boy. Angela sold 3 houses, but 2 unfortunately have been lost. 3 and 2. However, she is staying cool under pressure with her new business venture, Fangie, a line of fans. Yeah, I'm like, you might as well. They not renewing their vows because them houses didn't sell. Shamia looks so crazy in this costume. She really looks crazy. And so Cynthia don't get no end cap, huh? Shamia look crazy. And the fact that the outfit got a hood on it, it's giving Little Red Riding Hood, but it's tan. Little tan Red Riding Hood. It's crazy. Who be dressing Shamia? Does she dress herself? We need to know, yeah. So at the end of this episode, y'all, I think, what was it, like 5 months later? They're like 5 months later. Portia and Simon's home. What? Scratch that. Portia's home. I said not that she couldn't film in the house until the season was over, and y'all said pick the cameras up. Go to Portia's house for about 2 hours. Go get some footage. Go get some footage of her in the house, okay? The house we was supposed to be seeing all season, right? So Portia's at the house. We finally get to see the house because we would usually just see that closet on Amazon Live because he had sent that cease and desist to Bravo where she can't talk about him and she couldn't film in that house or that car. Okay, so she's able to film in the house now 5 months after filming, and she is having a conversation with her mom about, was it the divorce? No, not the divorce. I don't know, y'all. Just talking about Simon in general. They sent PJ on the way, and they sit there and they talk about Simon. And so they're just talking about a court date. But then we all know that he was detained by ICE for a couple of months, so they had to prolong the court date, but it has been finalized now. She gets paid $40,000 a month, get the house for a good year and a half with him paying for it, and then yeah, shoot, she back at Bravo making $1 million. So she'll be fine. She'll be fine. And yeah, her mama and that toast. We did it. We did it. We got a little bit of money off this man, okay? Got a little bit of change up off type deal. So that's it. Yeah, that's it, y'all. It was a cool little season. I don't know if we get an episode next week because you know how they be acting when it's the holiday weekend. Let's see. And I feel like when I saw something, it was like, oh, the reunion's gonna be on like the 12th or something. Like the 13th, you know. It was like not the next week. You know what I'm saying? Yes, to do the 13th. July the 13th. So yeah, we're not getting one Sunday, I guess, because it's 4th of July weekend. And then after that, we'll be started on the 3-part reunion. I'm like, what are y'all talking about for 3 parts? This season was not giving 3 parts. We only have one husband. We only have one husband. How long can that segment be? Well, I guess they did show a scene where Ralph come out there, right? I guess they can milk that for a little bit. But I'm like, 3-part reunion for this season? That's strange. Yeah, my baby is 4, right? Turned 4 in March. Every day she still asks, am I still 4? Am I still 4? Yes, baby, you still 4. Okay. And so she's getting the concept that she only moves up a year on her birthday versus anybody's birthday. So on my birthday, she was like, how old are you? You older, right? But I'm still 4? That's strange. So this whole episode, I was like, that's strange. That's strange. Like, everything was strange. But I'll see y'all in a couple of weeks for the next review. Make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, let me know how y'all feel about this season, how y'all feel about this review, what else is on that I could review. I think I'm definitely gonna pick up Traders when it comes back. Definitely gonna pick up Traders and definitely gonna pick up more books. I be reading hella books, but I don't be getting on here talking about it. So I'm going to do more of that as well. So until next time, bye.